The technology improves, assets reduce, the priorities of governments change, but the doctrine for the maritime commander of having to glue all these pieces together to develop and deliver actionable intelligence on that action remains unchanged. And I think we're picking those points up with the first 3 sessions this morning very clearly.
When we are participating to this kind of conference, it's also a way to set up our ideas, our lessons learned, our plans, and so on, and sometimes that lead us to think in another way. Really hoping, especially to know people, to have some business cards there, to be able to liaise back to those people, because from time to time we know that we have to find some expertise in the people who are around there, so that will be a good idea to come back to them later on.
It has to be relevant in order to participate. I believe the benefit is for ourselves to see what the industry is working on, how it can tie up with NATO doctrines and procedures, and to make sure that in the end we have connectivity and interoperability.
I've learned quite a bit already, just thus far today, and by the end of the conference I'm definitely upping my IQ on maritime interdictions on a global scale. I've learned a good amount, a tremendous amount thus far. There's a huge turnout here today, a lot of subject matter experts from all over, and different aspects of the maritime environment, maritime law enforcement, GDF, things like that.
As a commanding officer of a squadron with a new helicopter, we are very linked in with our commercial partners, and indeed the delivery of our programme has been very much linked to the commercial element in terms of them delivering us a capability. So I think that's useful. It depends on where a programme is in terms of its life cycle, but it's also useful to understand the synergies between a military capability or a delivered capability and those that build and provide it.
It's an important part of our marketing strategy. It's good to meet the end users, but not only that, it's good to understand how their operational challenges are changing, to get a perspective on what their capability shortfalls are. So these type of events for a company like Harris is exceptionally important.
This kind of event is quite important for us because it allows us to meet the decision makers in an early stage of the decision making process.
But we've also met some guys this morning that are right at the top of the tree. We look at that delegate list, we look at who's attending, we look at the speakers and make a decision whether we attend based on that. And this event certainly there are some important people here that we wouldn't have gained access to unless we would have attended.
With our new product, I think this is spot on to what they are looking for. So of course a big conference with thousands of people, it's a lot of people is just looking around, it's hard to get contact and it's hard to really see if they needed what you can provide them. So for me this is a great event.
The benefit of this is that the commercial sector gets access to frontline online practitioners, those guys who are doing it day by day. The larger events tend to look at the procurement agencies and the procurement guys who have a very key role to play, but perhaps a little further away from the coal face than the sort of audiences we tend to get to this type of event. So I think the real benefit for industry here is access to the frontline commanders, the frontline practitioners going around their business day by day.